Hi, I'm Gala, and I would like to welcome you all to today's beautiful class on self-love. Thank you for being here. If this is your first time drawing NeuroGraphica, please watch two short videos before you begin, one on how to draw a neuroline, and the second short video is on the practice of rounding and why we do it. Both links can be found in the description box below this video, as well as the list of stationery you will need to draw. If you're ready, let's proceed. If this is something that you're about to do, then you can pause here and come back when you're ready, and we will begin. But before we begin the drawing, I would like to take a moment to talk about what this class and actually the entire self-love program is truly about. When we think of self-love, many of us can imagine something soft, maybe even fluffy, but real self-love is a deep, grounded relationship with yourself. And that relationship has three essential parts. Self-awareness, this is the ability to notice what's really going on inside, how your body feels, what your thoughts sound like, what your patterns are. It's the courage to look inward with honesty. Then we have self-acceptance. Once you become aware of what's there, this is the next step, which is choosing not to reject it. And it doesn't mean that you stop growing. It just means you stop fighting with yourself. You stop believing that something in you is broken. And from this step, self-love appears. Because when you accept yourself, even in your messiness, you create space for love. Not as a reward, but as a recognition. I'm worthy simply because I exist. And this is what we're doing here, step by step. So the first drawing, the first class is Diagnostics. We'll simply be listening and we will see what's actually happening inside of us. Because sometimes we think we know what we want, but our subconscious is trying to tell us something else. And when we draw with NeuroGraphica, our subconscious finds its way to the paper. What was invisible becomes visible. And today, we're going to explore self-love through the lens of 7 energy centers. You may refer to them as chakras. We will go through them one by one. And during this drawing, I will guide you through each of them. And that will be something truly beautiful. Because again, the first drawing is diagnostics. It's not about fixing. It's not about changing anything, even though already by drawing NeuroGraphica, you are changing quite a lot of things. And so this is our first step. And in the next 3 classes, we'll go much deeper. I'll give you even more information on on each energy center. And we'll also be working with qualities, integration, planting new seeds, and creating real alignment in your system. But for now, we begin here with honesty, with curiosity, and with a line and a circle. And as always, I like to start our class with a warm reminder to go get some water, to prep your stationery if you've forgotten to bring it. So again, pause if you need to, go get some water. And make sure that you are not distracted during the duration of our class, at least as much as possible. And let's begin. Whenever we draw NeuroGraphica, and if you watched a free class on Neuro Butterfly program, so you already know a little bit of NeuroGraphica. If you've already attended a few classes, whether with me or whether with another instructor, then you're also familiar with what we are about to do. But every class, every drawing begins with a topic. And today, as part of this program, Our topic is self-love. So what we are going to do, we are going to take a sheet of paper, and at the very top, we are going to write down our topic, self-love. And already now that you see this word, you may observe how your body reacts, what you feel, what you sense, and maybe you have even some images coming up. Just observe. Again, Neurographica is not necessarily about receiving all the answers, but it's about observing, and it's about noticing and asking questions. Because once you ask the question, even if you're not aware of it, the answer is already there. And that's the beauty of Neurographica, because you may receive the answer right away through some aha moment. You can receive it later, or you can actually, the answer can be so integrated in you right away or a little later that you might actually forget what was the question about. And now I'm going to set a timer for 2 minutes, and let's write down all the words that are coming up. And we do that to launch our subconscious mind so that we already started receiving messages. Okay. Let me put the timer in so that you could see it too. 1, 2, 3, let's begin. Time is up. Now please count how many words you have. I have 26 words. If you have fewer than 17, then pause a little bit and write down a few more words. And now we can take our highlighters and already see which words actually pop up and what we're feeling. I'm noticing that I'm catching my breath. And it feels like everything is muted inside of me, and that's so weird. Not weird, but quite unusual. So what is that you feel? What is that you sense? And when you close your eyes, what do you see? What image is there? And what does it tell you about the topic of self-love that we're working on? Because all the questions, all the observations today, they are related to our topic, self-love. Well, interesting. When I see word simple, it's a beautiful reminder for me. It doesn't have to be difficult. It can be easy. So that's simple about not pushing, but actually enjoying the ride. Exactly what the words here are. And smile. Yeah, smile. So this is step number 1, our topic. Then we launch our subconscious mind with words. And now let's start working on the algorithm cell. And today we place our paper vertically. I will be moving slightly here and there the paper for you to see it, all of it. Not most, but many algorithms are horizontal. When we place our paper like this today, we place it vertically because we want to show growth. So we're taking our liner, our marker, and I will be showing what we are doing, and then please take a little bit of time and repeat on your end. Let me lift a little bit the camera and I will come. So the first thing that we do, we draw a vertical line in the middle, somewhere in the middle. Well, my liner doesn't work. Let's make another one. It doesn't have to be measured. It's more for us to see where we're going to draw our energy center. So just the line in the middle. And we are going to explore today 7 energy centers. And to draw them, the easy way, or not the easy, well, probably yes, the easy way to do is at first we're drawing one circle in the center, which is number 4, energy center number 4. And then we draw 3 circles below. And 3 circles above. Well, by looking at my circles, I can see they're not very harmonious. They're quite different. And I see that, again, it's about what you feel, what you sense, and how you interpret. I'm sharing with you how my gut feeling tells me to interpret the way I draw, because the same drawing, if there is similarities in what I drew and in what you're drawing, it can be perceived completely different. But what I'm seeing right now is that there is this little gap between number 3 and number 4, and all 4 energy centers, 4, 5, 6, 7, they are actually together. And the lower ones, 1, 2, 3, they're actually together in a way as well. But to me, it feels like there is some gap between the way the energy moves from number 1, 2, 3 till 4, as if, I don't even know, and I'm trying to understand right now, what is that that I'm feeling. But again, now that we're going to explore further, we will see what is there. So for now, I'm not changing anything, because our task today is not to change, even though, yes, when we will be rounding, we may change something, but the task is not to change. The task is to become aware. So what is energy center number 1, or chakra, root chakra? And now that I'm exploring it, I can slightly change it to make it slightly more harmonious, but keeping the same pretty much size. This is our foundation, and this is our permission to be and to have. That's the center that anchors us in the here and now. It holds our right to exist, to take up space, and to feel safe and supported by life. And when we're disconnected from this center, we may feel that the world is unsafe, or like we have to prove that we belong. And sometimes there is even fear around simply being. So if this is something that you might experience, this is where it sits. It's here. And the question that I invite all of us to ask today is, do I feel I have the right to be here? And do I also allow myself to receive what I need? And when you think about it, you can add a neural line around this energy center and around intersections. Because again, we remember why we round intersections: to eliminate the tension and the conflict. So this is energy center number 1. Then from energy center number 1, and energy moves to our energy center number 2. And I see that, well, my energy center number 2 and 1, that I believe they're the same size. And this is where our emotions live: pleasure, desire, creation, our ability to feel joy, to express longing, and to allow the flow. And when this center is not harmonized, I don't like to say ignored, but when we are not aware of what is, when we're not focusing on it, we may shut down pleasure, and we may actually feel guilt around what we want. And maybe this is something that you're familiar with. In my case, I can say that yes, in the past, I would feel guilty around some of the things that I wanted. And we might also constantly self-edit, suppress emotions, or even feel unworthy of joy. So if there is any tension in this, in what I've just read, and if you feel that, yes, this is something that I experience, maybe not that much now, but this is something that I experienced in the past, then this is where it was. And the question I invite you to ask is, do I trust my feelings? And do I believe that my desires matter? Because quite often we disregard what is that we want and focus more on what other people want instead of us. So again, draw a line, a neural line around this circle, see what comes up, what emotions you feel, how your body reacts, what images come up, maybe some memories even. And then we move to energy center number 3, or solar plexus. And this is where willpower lies. This is also our sense of personal agency, boundaries, choice. And when we have this strength in us to say, I can. And if this energy center, or the energy in this center, is blocked and doesn't go up, we might feel powerless or stuck. We hesitate, overthink, over control. We may even feel anger that rises when we feel like we can't actually do anything with our journeys, with our path. Is this something that you've experienced lately? Controlling, doing more, pushing more, hoping or expecting things to change? What I've noticed is that when I keep doing something, for me, it gives me this fake illusion, I would say, or fake stability that I'm doing something, which means that I am in control. But you understand that this is not always the case. So the question here is, do I believe in my ability to shape my life? And am I actually acting from confidence or from fear? Because depending on which emotion shapes your action, the result will also be different. Whether you're doing just because if you're inspired, it's one thing, but if you're doing something because you're afraid of not doing anything, then the result will be different. And now we move to our fourth energy center. This is our heart chakra. And this is the center, and this is also the center of connection. And this is not just romance. This is where we meet others and when we meet ourselves with compassion. And if energy is stuck here, we may feel that it's difficult for us to receive love or to give it. And we protect too much. Probably moms know that with their children when they're overprotective. So you may, if this is how you see yourself, then maybe the energy is here. And we also lose our boundaries. So if you notice that there are you would like to have stronger boundaries, for example, then this is the energy center to look into. And this is our permission to love and be loved. And the question here is, am I willing to open? And can I love without condition? Not only other people, but actually, can I love myself unconditionally as well? And that may be a tricky question. And this is what we are doing with this program, learning to love ourselves. And then we go to energy center number 5. This is our throat. This is our permission to speak and to be heard. Let's add a few lines here around the circle. And this is our voice. This is our expression. And this is our truth. And when this energy center is open, then we name our needs. We are free to tell our story, and we actually ask what we need, what we require, what we desire. But when energy is stuck here, when it's blocked, we may be silent. And you may actually even feel this sensation when it feels like the words stuck in the throat. Or actually, it can also be vice versa when we speak too much without saying what matters. So we technically say many things, but not the things that actually matter. And the question to ponder here is, am I expressing myself clearly and truthfully? And do I feel safe to be heard? So take some time to pause, to ask yourself, what is that I see now? when I close my eyes, how my image changed. Has it changed? Maybe the image that you saw at the very beginning transformed into something else. Maybe there are small tiny changes in the first vision, or it can be something completely different. And what you sense, again, we're always checking what is that I feel, what is that I sense, sensations in your body, right? How your body reacts. What is that I see? Images, memories, people, anything. And what does it tell me? What I checked in all these points. What does it tell me in my topic? Number 6 is the third eye. Again, let's add new line. And this is our insight, and this is our permission to see, the ability to see beyond the obvious, patterns, possibilities, and also deeper truths. And when this energy center is blocked, we second guess ourselves, get stuck in logic. Probably you're familiar with that. Well, I can say that I am very much familiar with that. My analytical mind is quite vocal. And this is when we doubt the knowing that we have inside. And this is your loving invitation to ask yourself a question. Do I trust my intuition? But also, am I open to see what I don't yet understand? This is our energy center number 6. And our final energy center, number 7, which is the crown. And this is our permission to know. But it's not in a religion sense when we talk about our connection to something greater. It can be this inner knowing that we are part of something wide, something vast, and something that supports us on our journey. And when this energy center is blocked, we may feel lonely, disconnected, and it may feel like we're carrying everything by ourselves. Well, I can say that I am definitely familiar with the feeling of feeling disconnected. And it's a good reminder for me that, well, actually, this is where it is. And the question is, am I open to guidance? And the second question is, can I surrender without losing myself? So now that we've get acquainted a little bit with our energy centers, even if they're not connected, like you see that in my case, not all of them are connected, and that's okay, because for me, it's diagnostics. What is actually happening right now? And so the next thing that we do, we add and try to feel it in your body, how energy moves from energy center number 1 until the very top. So that's flow number 1. And the second flow goes in the opposite direction. We begin with energy center number 7, and we go downward, uniting and harmonizing our energy centers. And ask yourself, how are you feeling now? Do you feel the energy moving? Do you feel that now all of these centers are actually connected? Maybe not yet. And then let's round all intersections. So we don't have to round with the horizontal, with the vertical line we draw at the very beginning, because it's more like it was more like a guidance for us. But we do round intersections between these flows, and also the areas where flows connect or intersect with the flows. Flows connect with the energy centers. So take your time to do it. If you need to pause the video, then do it. Because you might have your own pace. Because maybe you would like to sit a little bit more with each energy center, and I wouldn't want to rush you. Take as much time as you need. And check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What are you sensing? What happens with the image that you had at the very beginning? Has it changed? Or a new image appeared? I can feel that my right wrist is quite tense today. And at the same time, my left wrist is super relaxed. Completely different sensations. So we united our energy centers. And now at this point, we were working with our personal, individual, subconscious mind. But we understand that actually we live in the society, right? And we're not alone. Even if we wanted to hide in a cave, we actually still have people near us, whether it's colleague, whether you have your families, friends, even people in a supermarket. So we still live among other people. And so we are going to acknowledge that, and we are doing it with adding lines into the society outside of our energy centers. And there are several ways to do it. So one way is to draw the line from your energy center and up and to the until the edge of the paper. And another way of doing it is when you actually draw a line towards your energy center. So see how it feels better, or not better, but try it and see different sensations. You may add 2, 3, 4 lines from one side and 2, 3, 4 lines on the other side, or even more, because we remember that the quality of the result depends on the quantity of neurolines. So take your time to draw as many as you feel like. Today, I will draw 2, one in one direction and another one in an opposite direction. And they can intertwine, they can intersect, that's okay. In my case, they're like this, but I might add more lines later on. So again, remember how we draw a neuroline. Neuroline is a line that goes there where we don't expect it to see, and it changes its direction at every step of the movement. So it's a conscious drawing. We're always being present with it. So this is also a beautiful opportunity to practice drawing your line. And then, of course, we will round everything. Well, I can say that the way I drew on the right side was different than what I'm drawing now. It feels like I'm drawing with my left hand. That's interesting. And now let's round all intersections, because we remember that every intersection is a conflict, it's some kind of tension. And by rounding it, we eliminate it. And I can say that it's so much better to go through this tension on paper rather than in our waking life. And check in with yourself. Now that we acknowledge the society, how are you feeling? And you may actually feel different sensations depending on where these lines are. For example, if you notice that you would really like your boundaries to be stronger, then you may notice that the lines that you added into this energy center are actually giving you more tension and maybe even fear, probably, or discomfort. So anything. Just observe, and without any judgment, just observe, like, okay, I see that. And understand that by rounding this intersection, you are actually eliminating this tension. So whenever there are some tough feelings or sensations in the body, the first thing that I recommend to check is, are all your intersections rounded? Because sometimes we resist rounding, saying like, well, I don't want to do it, it takes time. There can be many excuses, but when you actually understand what is that you are doing with rounding, then you see how helpful it is. And you feel the change the second you rounded something. So don't bypass this step, and really take time to round every. If at some point you feel like adding more lines, then of course do. For example, if you feel like, I actually want to explore energy center number 1 a little more, then you can add a line inside of it and to explore what's there. Especially if you have more time, if you're not rushing anywhere, then that would be nice. Or for example, energy center number 2. As you can see, I feel like adding a few more lines in all of them, because right now they feel a little bit, and it's interesting because the word that comes up is naked, exposed. And I'm asking myself, how does it relate to the topic that I'm working on? Where am I feeling exposed? Because I can't say that there is any tension around it, about the word exposed. It's more like visibility, probably. That's also interesting. So yeah, I'm adding a few lines, because just like I mentioned earlier, the quality of your drawing depends on the quantity of your lines. And remember that every line is a thought, every line is some idea. And by adding more lines, I also add more energy into my topic. And since more intersections appear, it just means that I'm able to work through more conflict, more tension, and it's beautiful. I have such a unexpected rush of joy right now, like wow, and celebration. And remember to check in with yourself. What is that you're feeling? What is that you're sensing? And even though it is diagnostics, and as you can see, technically I'm not like changing my energy centers, but if you feel that you would like to change the shape, the size, then of course, go ahead and do that. I can't say don't do it, because only you know what's best for you. And now we're taking highlighters, and there are a few ways, a couple of ways how you can add color today. And so you can see there are so many cells, and every cell is an idea. And with coloring, we unite smaller ideas into bigger concepts. The only rule with color is that at least 2 adjacent cells have to be of the same color. And a good thing to remember is white is also a color, so you don't have to color everything. So one way, and this is how I like to do it, is to start coloring from bottom to top, to see and to feel this flow of energy, and to see how energy moves, like really from every energy center up. Like here, for example, I noticed this pause that, well, yeah, I feel it. And now I'm curious how it is going to be here. Like, I like to add a line here like this. I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. So this is one way how you can start adding color. Another way is, if you feel like, then you can use the colors of energy centers. So the first one is red, the second one is orange, then it's yellow, green, light blue, then it's indigo, dark blue, then it's violet. So whatever feels right, this is the way how you should be doing it. And another way to do it is your way. If you feel that there is something else that you would like, there is another way how you would like to draw to add color, then of course do it. And And yes, so we remember that it's not only about our energy centers, because color is energy, right? And we would like this energy to add into the society as well. So I am adding color here as well. And one of the most common things that people who just started drawing Neurographica say is, oh my God, this is so not beautiful. I'm not an artist. I can't draw. The thing is that it's technically not about beauty. At this point, when we add color, our task is not to create beauty. Our task is to create, let's call them blobs of color, and to create impression. Because when you add color, you can notice that your body starts reacting. And this is perfect time to ask yourself, what is that that I'm feeling? What is that that I am sensing? What's the image that I see? And what does it tell me about the topic that I'm working on? And I can say that there is this one question that I like to ask myself once in a while during drawing, which is, what is the first word that comes up when I think about self-love? And now for me, the word is trust. Again, if you need more time to finish any of the steps, you can pause the video, take your time doing it, and then resume watching the video. So please don't rush anything, and do take as much time as you need. Now I feel like taking violet. And when you start adding a different color, observe how you feel. Do you feel the change? Do you feel the change? It is like right now someone is asking me, Gala, do you feel the change in your life now? I'm like, yeah, huge change. And I'm loving it. Yeah, and I can see that my breathing changed. I'm exhaling deeper right now, and as if some stress is being released. And again, you can add as many colors as you want. You can even do it in monochrome using shades of some particular color that you like, for example. Or you can actually create something super vibrant. So check in with yourself, because again, only you know what works best for you. I can only suggest, but you are the one who knows what is right for you, what is your truth here. And ask yourself, what I already learned today about myself, something that I didn't know, or maybe something that I looked with different eyes. Oh, I see there is a single here. So I'll add one more line to make sure that there are at least two cells. Yellow. No, the word that comes up is vibrancy and vibration. It's interesting. Vibration. I'm actually curious to look at this drawing after the entire program, because we will have 3 more drawings. One of the drawings is going to be a symbol mandala or quality mandala. It's one of my favorites. Then we will work with the lotus. Is also such a beautiful metaphor and such a beautiful 7-layered. The word that comes up is magic, but it's not like magic. It's beautiful, really amazing, very deep tool. And then we will go back to this algorithm, the one that we are drawing today, but we will make it more complicated. We will add more and more things into it, because for us it will be an integration of everything. We will explore shadow part of us, of every energy center. We will explore light part of every energy center. And this is when we will be able to change if there's still something to change. And yeah, to see how the colors changed, how the energy centers changed. That's why I love diagnostics, because diagnostics drawings, because they're usually so on point. When you compare drawing number 1 with drawing number 4, or in Neuro Butterfly program, drawing number 1 and drawing number 6. So do I want to add some other color? Mhm. Yes. Which one? I could actually add blue. No. green. Let's say green. Quite an unusual pick for me. Oh, yeah, so much freshness right away. And my image right now is me in the field where it's the summer in the mountains and this beautiful high grass with field flowers, and there's also some spring with cool water. Oh, I love this image. And it gives me this feeling of tranquility and peace and completion. This is what this green color gives me, completion. Interesting. Oh, mission accomplished. This is something that comes up right now. Okay, now I see there's once again singles, 2 singles, so I will add 2 lines to change that, to make sure that there are at least 2 cells of the same color. So we can either split them or we can just color them. I don't feel like coloring them because I feel like it will be too much. There won't be room for air. I love white and keeping white. So that's here and 1 line here. If you're still coloring, then please pause the video, and when you're ready to resume, then click play and let's see what is the next step. And the next step is adding divine lines. So this is the support of the source. So this is our understanding that we are actually never alone and we are always supported by the divine. In this algorithm, we draw divine lines from bottom to top. And you can draw them in your energy centers or just see how it goes. Again, divine line is also a line that goes there where we don't expect it to see, and it changes its direction every step of the movement. So it's a conscious drawing, not something like, okay, I'm closing my eyes and see where it goes. No, you allow yourself to guide your hand to guide you, but you're still very present with what you're doing. So I feel like drawing 1 line like this, and I see that, yeah, partially, even though it started not in the first energy centers, then it's still, I moved it, or it moved, or we moved it together as a team into the row of energy centers. And again, I can notice that, okay, so it's there from energy center number 2. So what does it mean to me that it doesn't touch energy center number 1? And what comes up to me is that, well, my energy center number 1 is quite strong. And there's lots of focus there, so it doesn't need additional assistance and support to keep the energy moving. But energy center number 2 is a place where extra boost is actually needed. Again, this is how I interpret what I see. Your interpretation of what you see can be completely different. And this is why it is important to ask yourself, not anyone else, but ask yourself, what is that I feel, see, and sense? because you're the one who is drawing, you're the one who is living your life. And even though there are some recommendations, there is some guidance, but no one knows what's right for you or what's true for you other than you. And this is why I love Neurographica, because it actually teaches you, not like teaches, shows you that you already know everything. When you connect to yourself, you have all the answers, not anyone outside of you, you know it. So you can add 2, 3 neural lines. And for divine lines, we, as you can see, we're using thicker marker, because it's for us to see it right away. So when you look at your drawing, divine lines should be one of the first things that you actually see. What's the next thing? The other thing that you should see is something that I will share after this step is completed. So that's energy center in line number 1, and we remember to round all intersections. So you can see, right, regular line and this much thicker line, which is our divine line. And now I feel like adding divine line number 2. And now I see that actually divine line number 2 goes in a different direction. It doesn't enter all energy centers, which is not a bad thing. Again, nothing is bad that you're drawing. It's like, interesting. What does my subconscious mind is trying to tell me? Now I see that this line is more about it's like slightly on the edge of energy centers and into the society. So I'm asking myself, what does it mean to me that it is like this? And the thought that comes is that it's not about the boundaries, but it's about this moment when you and society connect. And this is when you need a little bit more care. This is the word that comes up. Not entirely sure what it means. But okay. Noticing, observing, asking questions, not expecting the answer right away. Just like you, I'm also learning. Never-ending journey. Learning, like, know thyself. That's what we are doing here. And sometimes we may feel resistance here, like, oh my God, I added divine lines and everything is horrible right now. I ruined everything. And we remember that there is such a beautiful thing as resistance. And resistance here may be around, okay, so I believe that there is divine energy, whether I call it source, whether I call it the field, God, or any other word that I feel is true to me, the one that I feel is the right name. And I kind of believe that it's there, and I want it to come help me, but I'm gonna tell it how to do it. Like, yes, universe, I'm working in abundance, but make my abundance come this way at this time, and in this amount. So you're kind of trusting but at the same time, you are controlling, because this divine energy is always the unknown. And when we control, we just resist it, resist the unknown. So, yeah, that's a beautiful way of looking at it. Now I see that I have a single here with the pink. So I am going to split it into two cells. Like this. So we've drawn divine lines and rounded all intersections. I've drawn two. If you feel that you need more, then please go ahead and add as many as you feel like, 2 or 3, 4. Usually 2, 3 should be okay. But again, check in with yourself. What is that you actually feel like doing? Because I can suggest, I can recommend, but only you know what is right. And now we are going into the fixing stage, which is our result. So by adding and fixing, we show ourselves that the solution is here, the question is resolved. Because anything we do, like everything we do, is about completion, right? We need to show our subconscious mind and our bodies that the solution is here. And you can affix, and I will show you how to do it, any energy center, or maybe you see that there is some other shape that appears, or maybe several energy centers, like a group of energy centers. I feel that right here I have a little bit of wiggle, I would say, and I feel like prolonging it and making my energy center number 4 slightly bigger. And this way, it's actually beautiful. I like it because it shows me that this is how the lower 3 energy centers and the upper 3 energy centers, they are united and they're connected into one network. It's like everything clicked, all the puzzles found their place. And once again, we are rounding all intersections. You don't need to know what this solution is. You just need to see and to know that the solution is here. And this is the second thing that should pop up when you look at your drawing. The divine lines and your affixing. And this is also when you can have resistance, because sometimes even when we know how to change the situation we're in, we still don't do it. And it seems that there is always a good reason for it. So, do you know how to change your topic? And today we're working on self-love. But when you draw other algorithms and create other drawings, you may also notice that, for example, when you work on money, you may see that, well, yeah, I know how to change my situation, but still I'm not doing it. And so when you create this affixing, it's a signal. The result is here, the solution is here, everything is solved. Go rest, in a way. And step number 7. So if you're still working on your affixing or any step of the algorithm, please pause. Give yourself some time to finish everything. Rounding, color. And step number 7 is style. And when we were adding color, earlier I said that the task here is to create like big let's say blobs or spots of color, so that when you look at your drawing, you see like, oh my God, yeah, this is it gives you this reaction, like, yeah, every color gives you a reaction. This is why we use highlighters, because they're so juicy and so bright. Even if it's a pastel color, it's still bright. And now with style, there are several things you can do, but the prime question here is, you look at your drawing and you ask yourself a question. Is there anything I can do to make my drawing prettier? And again, you don't need to be an artist at this point, because sometimes what you can do is just add in a new line. For example, here I feel like adding one more line, because these parts seem to me quite thick. I also would like to add a line here. Maybe it's working on your rounding. You can see that there are some edgy spots, and this is something that you would like to change to make it smoother. So I'm adding a line here as well. And now I see that, well, my fixing is not that bright. So I would like to make it more visible. So I'm taking pencils, and this is actually the stage when you can start using pencils. Not highlighters, though you can use them as well, but pencils, because this is when we can create some subtle changes. And I create this a little bit of, I'm adding a little bit of color here to make sure that my affixing pops up when I look at my drawing, because right now it feels like just an energy center, like all of them. I don't see that this is the result. I see that, yes, this is slightly larger now, and not as small as it used to be, but still, I don't see that this is the affixing. And by adding a little bit of color with the pencil around it, then yes, my attention right away draws here, and yeah, much, much better. You may not see it on paper through the camera, but when you look at in in real life, let's say, then you can, it's quite visible that that this is the affixing now. A little bit of color. And yes, there are sometimes when you look at your drawing, you may say, like, you know what, I already like everything. I don't want to add anything. And that could be also kind of a resistance. So even if you feel that, yes, everything is already beautiful in my drawing, I would actually invite you, just set a timer for 1 minute. Like really 1 minute. Is there one more line that you can add? Is there one more rounding that you can work on? Is there one more color that you can make smoother? For example, here I see that it's quite uneven, so I can add a little bit of color. Or there are some white spots. Can I change it? I can, and then let's do it. And how am I feeling now? And I can say that definitely it feels more harmonious. So that's step number 7. And don't rush it. Like, really don't rush it. Sometimes this is my longest step, actually, when I really sit down and keep adding lines, color. I'm so consumed by it that I think that, well, 1 hour passed, but actually it's been 3.5. Yeah, that happens too. I feel like adding one more line before we proceed. Getting one more line here. And step number 8 is the same step that we had at the very beginning. And this is how we will see what actually changed. So this is how we began. Now, once again, we are writing down our topic, and maybe the color will be different today. In the end of the session, I'm using, yes, a different color. Self-love. And remember to check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What are you sensing? What images come up? And once again, let's write down 20 words for 2 minutes. And time is up. Now you can count how many words you have. I have 42, and I can say that well, definitely I have more words than at the very beginning, and they're completely different now. And adding color, uniting some words, and the words are completely different. Yes, there are some words that were during our first step, but now it feels more like direction, not just words, but actually really like directions. Even smile. Right now, it's not like a noun, it's like smile. Do it, just smile. Or trust. Again, trust, not just like not a noun. And know thyself and let go, let God. Some of the words are really the words that I rarely actually use. Well, at least let's say some of the words I hear that don't always or rarely show up during my drawing. But it's here, and yeah, I like new words. spirit, divine truth, beautiful. And once again, let's close our eyes and check in with ourselves. What is that I see? What is that I feel? And what images come up? And what does it tell me about my topic? And I can say that completely different energy. And I feel that this one is more integrated. Even though I still love it. I really love it. It's simple with the heart. But now it feels like, I would say, embodiment. So yeah, thank you for staying with me until the very end, and for choosing yourself, for loving yourself, because every drawing is, I would say, really an act of love. And while this session that we draw today may feel simple on the surface, it's actually very powerful, especially if you choose to keep going. But even now, just the diagnostics already gives you an understanding what is happening in my body. Where is the energy imbalanced? What can I do to let the energy flow more freely? Because you can actually ask yourself right now, what can I do? And come up with some simple act. And not from pushing, but something inspired. It can be as simple as going for a walk, or treating yourself to a massage. But I would also like to invite you to the full program, which is recorded. And during this program, we go deeper, layer by layer, and we explore, just like I mentioned at the very beginning, we explore the path from self-awareness, what we just did, to self-acceptance, and in the end to self-love. And in the next 3 classes, we will draw the qualities you want to embody, map how love expands within you, and we will return to the energy centers with a new level of clarity and trust, and even more information on what each energy center does for us. And this program is recorded, and you can move through it at your own pace, guided and supported every step of the way. And all information can be found with the links in the description to this video. And no pressure, no rush. It's just an open door. And whenever you're ready to work through it, I'll be happy to welcome you there. I hope you enjoyed today's session, and that you really found lots of new information for yourself, some insights, aha moments, or maybe just this inner peace that comes with self-love. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them below the video, or you can always find me on Instagram or even on Telegram if you would like to join the Neurographica group there as well. All the links in the description. And I see you during our next classes. Have a wonderful day.